But yeah, welcome everyone, and good to have you here for our Q&A session today for the communities of practice in the CCRI. Good morning, everyone. Oh, actually, it's already 12, so not the morning anymore, but welcome everyone. Let's keep it that way. Good to see all of you here for the session. We will wait one more minute and then we will get going. All right. Looks like for now no more other guests are coming in, so I think we can get going, and then yeah, everyone else who joins later will join later. So welcome and good morning, everyone. Today we want to introduce the CCRI Communities of Practices and our second batch for which the application is currently open. My name is Felix Schumacher. I work for ECLA Europe. We are coordinating the project that is hosting these communities of practices, and I'm joined by Dr. Shirin Betzler, working for the CCP and responsible for running and driving the communities of practices in our project. And today we want to give you a rundown on what we have planned to do and what the opportunity basically is for you. And then also open the floor for any questions you may have that we can hopefully answer. And yeah, at the end, hopefully convince all of you to apply to join one of the communities of practices and get into the discussion with others. So some quick introduction to the session. We will have the session for about 1 hour. If we need it, we need it. If we don't, we don't. But that's what we have scheduled. You can ask questions throughout the session at any time throughout the chat, and also, of course, then use the Q&A to ask very detailed questions. Also, opening your microphone and yeah, letting us know what's on your mind. We are recording the session already, so that we can also share it later on with others who couldn't make it today, so they can also receive the information. But yeah, no reason to be shy. And it would also be great if you can change your name, if it's still possible, so that we can see where you are from, also what your full name just is. Makes it easier to talk to you, of course. Sometimes Teams has this weird habit of having random names, and yeah, it would be great if you could include especially the city, region, or organization that you are representing, so we know who we are talking to. And yeah, of course, also always good if you mention this when you are talking to us. That being said, I want to jump right into it and introduce the Circular Cities and Regions initiative to all of you. I'm not sure if you are familiar with it, but in any case, we want to briefly present this, since this is the underlying initiative that allows us to run the communities of practices and to really foster the exchange on the circular economy topics for the cities and regions. The CCRI, yeah, which is the short name, the abbreviation for the Circular Cities and Regions Initiative, is yeah, a pretty big initiative launched by the Commission about yeah, with about 250 million already invested through project funding, so quite substantial amount of money also available there, and it is really about the implementation of the strategic guidance and strategic direction the Commission wants to take for the circular economy. So it's based on the Circular Economy Action Plan, and it really focuses on collaboration, learning from each other, and really driving the circular economy topics in the cities and regions on the ground with the public administration to really implement circular systemic solutions. So the Commission basically wants to move from yeah, single actions in the cities and regions to really bring together systemic solutions that affect the entire city or region that is aiming to work on this. This means that the CCRI offers a lot of different programs. Sometimes it's easy to get lost in all the different offers. But in essence, what the CCRI is offering to cities and regions is concrete knowledge. It's the possibility to exchange, and it's also dedicated support programs. And today we want to talk about one of these exchange formats, which are the communities of practices. So basically bringing together groups of cities around topics that they are interested in, and we will dive much deeper into what this actually means in the next few minutes, in the next slides. And with this, I can already hand over to Shirin, who will now actually explain the communities of practices and what we have planned and what we are offering for this.
Thank you, Felix. Welcome from my side as well. Yes, what do we offer with the communities of practice? And maybe in the first step, the important thing that some of you might ask yourself is, what is a community of practice? What do we understand by it? A quick definition from my side, we conceptualize the communities of practice as a working group of you as city and region representatives with specific knowledge and expertise from practice that come together to share their experiences, to exchange their insights, and to learn from each other to apply knowledge in practice. So to develop practical solutions in your respective areas. That being said, why should you join this community of practice? What's in it for you? And we can say that first and foremost, the intention with the communities of practice is that you have a platform to exchange and to learn from each other with peers, with people that are in a similar situation, that are confronted with similar challenges, and that you work towards solutions in your city and regions contexts. So it's about finding solutions together and leveraging the knowledge from the others to get there faster and get there better. It's also about knowledge, about networking, about building your network, exchanging with like-minded partners, finding partners maybe for new collaborations, and expanding your network across Europe. And that also implies being able to and having a platform to showcase your city, being visible, especially in the European contexts with different partners across Europe. It's about gaining fresh perspectives and new points of view, maybe on challenges that you have, and learning from solutions that other regions have maybe found valuable, have found to be successful, have already implemented, have also failed with. So learning from failures is a big element of communities of practice as well. So just offering a platform to you to leverage this exchange and knowledge building here. What can you expect specifically from the format of the community of practice? We are asking you for a time commitment for approximately 1 day per month. And this comprises, for the most part, virtual meetings, approximately 5 virtual meetings during the run of the COP of 12 months, of 1 year of a minimum. The participation is voluntary. You're joining on a voluntary basis, and consequently also no specific funding for the participation in the COP itself is available. We're aiming for a group of approximately 5 to 10 cities or regions with a similar challenge, so who share a specific challenge built around the topics that we have defined that we'll present in a minute. And the idea is that we bring together individuals or cities, regions that have already experience with this topic. So it's really about bringing together experts, bringing together practitioners with previous experience and knowledge here to really be able to spur the exchange, learn from each other's experiences and previous work on this topic. As a central output, we are aiming for different formats of publications and knowledge sharing formats that are aiming to offer practical solutions to the topics that you're working on. So this will be more scientifically focused literature in the form of white papers, for example, but also policy guidelines in the form of policy briefs that will contain or leverage the knowledge that you are bringing to the community of practice through your case studies or your experiences from your contexts. What can we more specifically offer to you, or what will be our guidance from the CCRI project itself? We will facilitate the whole process for you, and this will mean that we will prepare and tailor discussion rounds around your needs and challenges, the situation that you bring to the table. We will provide background information that will constitute a common knowledge base among participants. We will also provide supporting materials to guide the whole process of the communities of practice, and will offer the room or open the room and platform for co-creation of your topics. So our central function will be to guide and moderate the process across the different topics that will be provided by the CCRI experts. What are the topics that we're looking at? We have identified these 4 focus areas for this, we have to say, second round of the communities of practice. We have already gained experiences with a set of 4 different topics that have been conducted or are still running, are in full progress, but have already started earlier this year. So we already can draw from some experience also from this first round. And we have 4 different topics for the second round, which will revolve around the topics of monitoring and indicators for the circular economy. So as a cross-cutting topic that will be facilitated by experts from VITO. Then we have colleagues from Circular Economy offering a community of practice on circular water management. We have Circular Flanders on board that will dedicate to social impacts of the circular transition. And we have experts from EIT Raw Materials that will facilitate the COP on critical raw materials in cities and regions. Now, I've already gave you a little glimpse into the outputs, but how specifically are we going to leverage your knowledge then that you share within these 4 communities of practice? So I've already talked about the documents that will be a central output to support the implementation of what you have what you're working on, or what you will also identify as important strategies and steps that will feed into different guidance documents, policy briefs, white papers, and also publication in form of hands-on case studies. We have a twinning program as an additional output setup that focuses more on pairing 2 specific cities and regions that face a similar challenge or interest to collaborate more directly and closely. So really in a twin format, in a very close one-on-one cooperation format. We are focusing on different training modules and also webinars, so shorter virtual versions, to disseminate knowledge and expand the community of cities and regions, and also to deliver certain inputs by experts that build on your experiences and achievements. So your experiences that you are discussing and will share in the COP and will participate or will share with us will feed in these specific outputs and modules. And last but not least, we are aiming for different study visits that are offering a on-site get-together also with the peers of the communities of practice, so that will offer a deep on-site insight into certain initiatives or contexts, and also offer the opportunity to meet each other physically and exchange on a different level. Okay, so we would like to give you a run through also of the specific topics, and I'm just looking into the round of participants and believe that there are some colleagues from Vito in the call. So in case you want to present your COP topic yourself, just give me a quick sign. Otherwise, yes. Mikhail, happy to have you on board.
Yeah, I can take over. So hi, everyone. I'm happy to introduce one of the first topics on monitoring and indicators. And it's quite a hot topic on the political agenda on many European cities and regions, but a lot of cities struggle to find what kind of indicators are useful for monitoring the circular economy, which data do we need to collect, and how can we actually use the indicators for our policymaking process. Things like material flow analysis, different sets of indicators, different frameworks or assessment methods will be explained and introduced in our COP. And together with other cities, we hope to learn and explore what kind of indicators are useful and how they are used in practice by decision makers. So that's the main scope of our community of practice. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mikhail, for that insight. Yeah, great to have you on board so that you can answer questions also more directly in a minute. Okay, the second COP that we have defined, the second communities of practice revolving around circular water management, will focus on, it will be facilitated by circular economy and will revolve around in-depth questions around how you link circular water management to other topics that are relevant for the sustainability transition in your city and regions. So it's about linking circular water management to topics such as climate action or urban planning. This COP will revolve around key drivers that make this integration of circular principles into water management feasible and a priority in your city. The COP will focus on how you apply circular strategies. So, for example, structures of decentralized reuse of water or connections with industry, how to close the resource loop related to water, and what outcomes you have observed in your city or region so far. And also it will be about technological or governance mechanisms that you have found to be effective in your context to really enable a resilient circular water management, and also which barriers or which failures you have encountered in improving this. So as we see also some previous experience required on treating this topic and really working with your experiences on circular water management here.
Thank you, Shirin. So I take over again to introduce the next topic, which is the topic topic of social impacts of the circular transition. This is a very cross-cutting topic, and or actually our colleagues from Circular Flanders, who will be running this COP, they don't want to already say that it should only be about circular or social impacts in this sector or another sector or specific fields, but rather be about the cross-cutting topics. Really, how can the circular economy work also for people? How can actual involvement and not just some basic consultation steps can take place, and how do we actually also look at which actions do affect which groups of society, just to name a few examples. So this COP will really be shaped, as all of them actually, around the topical needs that the participants bring, and it is really open to discuss this social dimension, which is obviously quite an important discussion to be had in every city, and also in every circular economy discussion, because at the end of the day, the social dimension is what this is all aiming to improve as well. Some policy dimensions such as poverty, labor markets, affordability, access, education, skills, gender and equity, etc., will all be part of this framework. Quite an exciting and interesting and of course important conversation to be had in this COP. Then our last one of the second batch, last but not least, of course, is the discussion around critical raw materials. I think, looking at the European landscape right now, the discussion about the critical raw materials, the dependency on global value chains at the moment is very present at the moment, and of course the circular dimension as one of the solutions to address this is also extremely relevant for both cities, but of course also industry and actually also entire countries that are addressing this more and more. And this COP is about exploring what the possibilities are, for example, to recover rare earth materials or all the other critical raw materials that of course are already listed, and the different strategies to approach this, which can be, for example, urban mining strategies, but can also be about reuse and similar strategies that will allow actually the critical raw materials to also stay in use for longer, which is also, of course, part of the strategy. And this specific COP will really break this important topic down on the levers that cities hold and regions, of course, to support to address the critical raw materials topic. This is also an important COP, and it will be hosted by EIT Raw Materials. So they already have it in their name. They are the experts in Europe on this topic, and of course will be able to provide very good discussion grounds for this. That being said, with the topics, you can raise any questions you also have during the Q&A, but some additional information we haven't mentioned yet is, of course, then also the question about who can actually apply. So since this is part of the CCRI, we have a quite targeted group that we are looking for, and basically we're looking really at subnational governments. So this includes, of course, cities, or also, to put it, municipalities. The size doesn't really matter. We are open to very small cities and also, of course, big capital regions that have several million inhabitants. This is all, of course, very open from our end. We're also looking at regions and provinces. Of course, this is all shaped a bit differently in each country, and the definitions may vary. But we're really looking at the subnational government level. So really the organizations that work on the ground and really are really can be seen as cities or regions, as the name of the CCRI suggests. This doesn't mean that we are only looking for the local governments themselves, but actually also what we call affiliated entities. Of course, also here the structure can vary quite a lot, but we have, for example, public agencies and municipal companies that are also eligible. So this basically means that as long as there is really this connection and this representation, and also the status of being part of the municipal government body, even if it's not just administration, but also the more applied parts of the municipality or the region, then we have eligibility. And last but not least, you may have heard about CCRI Cities and Regions pilots and fellows and all sorts of different vocabulary, basically, to describe different cities that are involved in this program and this initiative. We are open to pretty much every city or region that is either in the EU or also in one of the Horizon eligible countries that we also have listed here on the slides. Of course, with a country like New Zealand, for example, it may get a bit tricky to find a meeting time, but usually we expect that most applications will be also within the European time zones. But in any case, the application is open to all of these countries. And then in terms of who we or how the application process will go, so if you're interested in applying, you will have to fill out a form. It should not take too much time. I think 5 to 10 minutes it takes actually. So the link there's links for a single link for each of the 4 COPs. And then based on the applications, we will have a selection where we will look at experience, then also, of course, the commitment to work, to join the community of practice. And then also, of course, we have to keep an eye on some geographical diversity so that we don't just have a COP that has members from one country. But in principle, we are looking to really create a good group that works both in terms of the work they are doing, so the topics, in terms of the experience they have, and then of course also the geographic dimension here. As I just mentioned, the application links can be found. Maybe we can also post it in the chat, this link. But I'm sure, given that you all joined this Q&A session, that you probably also receive the other links, because we usually share it all together. The application is open until the 3rd of October, so we still have a bit of time. You also have a bit of time to share with, for example, with colleagues for whom this could be interesting, or to also dig a bit deeper, also to reach out to us and ask any questions that you also may have after this meeting, so to make your decision to apply. And basically, after we received all our applications, we will go through this and then make the selection. Sometime in October, and then based on this, we expect the groups to form and really kick off with like first meeting then in November or December, so still this year, and then basically run the group throughout 2026. How often, Shirin also mentioned that we are aiming for around five meetings, maybe in some cases can also be a bit more, 6-7 meetings, depending on really how the group shapes out. And it's really a co-creative process, so that all these aspects, the leader or the organizations that host these communities of practices, they don't just decide this, but really they decide together with the group participants, so it works for everyone. And then last but not least, I also want to mention some additional information and basically opportunities that are upcoming. This is not direct to the mention, as I showed earlier, the CCRI is offering a lot of different activities and opportunities that are open right now. And of course, with the European Week of Regions and Cities in 3 weeks' time in October, in Brussels, there is also a big opportunity for cities and regions to exchange in person and learn more about the CCRI and all its different initiatives there. Then we also currently have an ongoing call for application open for a twinning program, also was already mentioned earlier. So here we are looking to bring together 2 cities for also an exchange one-on-one facilitated by one of our experts from the project on really any topic. So this is very open to the needs and the developments that cities currently have. Of course, we always try to find then someone who's working on something similar to basically have a sparring partner and to have ideas, to share ideas. Then the Circular City Center, the C3, hosted by the European Investment Bank, also as part of the CCRI. They are also always looking for cities that they can support with really tailor-made programs that aim at getting projects on the ground towards investment readiness. And then I also want to mention the mentoring program, which is also another CCRI project. I know it can get a bit confusing with so many opportunities out there, but basically they're co-developing transition pathways towards circular economy, also with a lot of resources for single cities or regions around the topics they're working on. So some more opportunities, and by subscribing to the newsletter, you will have the chance to always stay in touch and be aware of what is going on out there. And with that, I think I can stop my screen share and open the floor for the Q&A session. Looks like we don't have anything in the chat, so feel free to speak up or also put something in the chat, and we will do our best to address your questions. Yes, Dubravka.
Thank you very much for the very informative presentation. I have a question regarding European Investment Bank Circular City Center that you have just mentioned. Can you please explain what is the exact connection between this program and the cities that will apply for this support, and then European Investment Bank Circular City Center? Is this also connected to this program, or it's separate? Thank you very much.
Yes, so it is not directly connected to the communities of practices. So this is just an additional offer we want to mention that is currently out there. So the communities of practices are really about bringing the cities together in a group to exchange with each other. As we said, 5 to 10 practitioners working on the ground. And what the C3 program from the European Investment Bank is offering is a bit different, a bit more targeted with in a smaller group. And so it's 2 separate programs, but they are all under this CCRI umbrella. So of course we want to also use the chance when we actually talk to a group of interested entities like we are doing right now, to also mention a bit the bigger picture that is out there. So there's not a direct connection, but the same umbrella. Hope this answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Great. Then Agathia.
Hello, I have a question. When you talk about twinning programs, are you referring to the call Town Twinning from the European Commission? Is the same thing?
Sorry, can you repeat this? I didn't quite catch this.
Yeah, okay, don't worry. When you were talking about twinning programs, were you referring to the Town Twinning, the call?
We are referring to another offer that we are making within the project that is basically called the CCRI Twinning Program. I'm not sure the other one that you mentioned. I'm not sure if this is.
It is an European Commission call. It's called Town Twinning. from
Town
the
training.
CERT program.
Okay, no, then it's something different. So the CCRI training program, we are also I think what makes this maybe not unique, but what makes this part of the CCRI is that we really want to create the twinning around the circular economy and circular cities topic, focused on that. So it has like a bit of a specific scope. Yeah, and I'm not familiar with the town training program, but yeah, it then is something different. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes. Another question. I see the one in the chat. I will get to this in a second, but Dubravka, go ahead.
I have another question regarding experts' involvement in the timetable. So the 3rd October is the deadline for the cities to apply, and then the first meeting would be in November or December. And at which point will cities have the support from experts, and how intense this support with expert is going to be? Thank you.
Yes. So the timetable, yeah, it really is indicative for the work we will do with the cities. The experts from the project themselves, or the experts are from the project themselves. So, for example, Michael presented the monitoring and indicators COP. He works for VITO, which is of course one of the leading organizations in Europe on this topic. Yeah, our COP leaders, they are themselves already experts, and we bring a lot of expertise from the project. We can in some cases also consider bringing external experts to specific group meetings, but this is nothing that is planned at this point. So it's more, or the goal is really to work or facilitate the city-to-city exchange directly, and yeah, build this on the expertise that we have within the CCRI already. So this is yeah, something that always needs to be separated a bit. Of course, we invite everyone who has a certain interest in this to still apply, especially if just so that we are in the picture of who actually has like given interest in the COPs, so that it is possible to potentially also invite certain experts later on in the process, but the main goal is to really connect cities and regions with each other. Yeah, so then we have a question in the chat from Astrid. So this is about the critical raw materials COP and the circular construction sector. Yeah, this is a very detailed question. To be honest, I can't answer it right now. I would say my advice is to apply in any case, and in the application we have some opportunities for you to basically enter some of the details about the topics you're working on and also your motivation, etc., so that basically you can explain the situation in the application, and then our colleagues from EIT Raw Materials in this case, who are leading this COP, who of course are also the experts on the topic of critical raw materials, they can assess. And of course, you can also reach out to us and post questions up front, and then we can forward this also to EIT. Or in any case, we can also bring this question to them. But maybe we can also put the email address in the chat, Victoria, quickly, that you can reach out to us with these kinds of specific questions that we may not be able to answer today. I hope this helps. Yeah, then the other question in the chat I already answered. And then maybe Rachel, over to you.
Thank you. Rachel Burns from Oxfordshire County Council in the UK. I was just interested, you mentioned kind of the time commitment would be kind of one day a month over the 12-month period, but then there's only kind of 5 to 7 meetings. What are you anticipating requiring from us in that kind of other time? Are we supposed to be writing the white papers or the guidance documents, or will that be done by kind of the facilitators? How are you envisaging that time, that apart from the meetings, that time commitment kind of is spent?
Yes, great question indeed. We don't expect the participants to write the papers like from start to finish. This will be done by the facilitators, all these different outputs, but we invite the participants to contribute where they can, and with basically what with their expertise from really the work on the ground. So the time commitment, we intentionally put the bar pretty high for this, just so that in the end no one is surprised. Another aspect of it is that this can, of course, also include preparations for a meeting. So we, of course, invite also the participants to present what they're working on. For example, we sometimes share surveys that we can then, the results we can then pick up during the meetings to discuss jointly, basically on what we learned there. So it can be a lot of different things. And of course, whoever, for example, if there's like a keen interest to write a policy brief, because one of your burning issues is actually around policy, then this can also be an opportunity to use the platform within the CCRI, and basically the setup that we have to be able to distribute bring this to the Commission on a relatively direct path. So the time commitment is, we set it pretty high. It could, or most likely won't be this high all the time, but for everyone who wants to get involved, there's also opportunities to do so. And the next one in line is Peter.
Hi, hello, I'm Peter, and I represent the cities in the Northern Netherlands. And basically what I was wondering, you might have said it, but I missed it. For each topic, is there going to be one group, or is there multiple groups divided on subjects? Because that wasn't really clear for me.
Yes, it will be one group per topic. So the monitoring indicators, the circular water management, the social impacts, and the critical raw materials will each have one group that is being formed with, as I said, 5 to 10 practitioners, more or less. And then this group will mostly stay together. Hopefully, of course, we can't, as we said, it's all voluntary, on a voluntary basis. So this will means 4 groups in total that will be formed.
Okay, then I have a little follow-up, because I feel like the topics are still rather broad. So during the application process, is there also like a focus on what kind of topics cities or regions want to discuss, to group it, to kind of narrow it down?
Yes, exactly. That's the idea, that we want. For us, the application is actually not only to find out about who's interested, but it's also a source of data collection, basically, to already get a picture of who's interested, and then the more detailed, the better, I would say. Of course, we also set a word limit so that we don't receive the 10,000 word application, but in any case, this is all part of the process. We don't define any hard criteria up front or anything, but really want to go based on what we receive, because it is so centered about around the participants, and not only a top-down initiative that we want to drive. So yeah, when you're applying, feel free to include any relevant information there, and also what would be the most interesting for you. And then this will really help us to match the group together and get a good impression of what to work on.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Okay, anyone else has any questions or comments or concerns? Hopefully not, but it doesn't look like it. So you can see in the chat now this email address. You can reach out to this one for any concerns you may have. We will also, if it's any follow-up questions about the specific community of practices with the different topics, feel free to just reach out there, and then we can always forward you to the right colleagues who are in charge of the specific COPs, but also any general questions or anything like that. And other than that, in the link that was posted earlier, you can find all the detailed information about the different COPs, and also the links for the application itself. So we would be really happy to receive applications from as many as possible of you, and would like to thank you for your participation and your time, and want to wish you a nice rest of the week.